So we started off with number 12, right? Number 12 just gave us a right tail test and wanted us to find the decision. This is where your decision comes from. So we take a look at 2.123, 1.23. We have to compare that to the area of the level of significance, which is 0.10. We will not take any error less than 0.10 without rejecting the null hypothesis. So when you look up your area, if that area is less than 0.10, you're going to reject your hypothesis. You know. Now, the easiest way to do this is line this up, fill this with zeros, and compare these numbers. Since that area is greater than this area, we fail to reject H0. This is just saying, give me a decision. This is your decision. What did you decide to do? That the rest, the box, is how you interpret it. Okay, a two-tailed test. Remember, a two-tailed gives you twice the options here. So look up the negative, find the area, multiply it by 2, and compare this guy to the p-value. Again, we fail to reject H0. Stop me if you have any questions, guys. That gave you 27, right? Okay. You had a claim. Something was equal to 40. They gave you the level of significance. They gave you the population standard deviation. My N is 25. This is my sample information. This is my sample. This is what I'm testing against my population. And I write my claim. If it has an equal sign, it's an HO. Oops, this is backwards. If it has an equal sign, it's an HO. No equal sign, it's an HA. Your tail goes by your HA. So the equal one gives you two tails. If you use your Z-score, don't forget to do this. You have to change your standard deviation over to square root of n, and I'll give you that formula whenever you use it. Find your Z-score. It's a positive, even though it's a negative, it also gives you the positive. Find your area, multiply it by 2, and compare that. Fill this with zeros and compare it. Now, when we reject H0, that's our decision. How we interpret this is this. My claim was an HO. I'm here. My decision was to reject it. If I claim that and I reject it, I didn't like it, right? I'm going to have to take the alternative. I'm going to agree with that it wasn't equal. But I can't say it that way. I have to say it this way. There is enough evidence at a level of significance of 0.05 to reject the claim that U was equal, the mean was equal to 40. I don't know what the claim is in words, but I know what the mean is equal to 40. Okay. So this is your interpretation. Your decision was to reject H0. Yeah, Dan?
I got the answer, but my p-value was 0.0423.
Your p-value was 0.0423? Yeah. You used your calc?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it in your calc. Your calc is a little different. It shouldn't be that different. Your mean was 40. Your standard deviation. You got that too? Your X bar was 39.2. And your N was 25. And you're not equal. Yeah, your p-value is different in your calc. Yeah, it's 0.0423. You're still rejecting though.
Yeah.
Usually it's not that different. It's a little different because we rounded here. So now when you're rounding affects this area and this area. So it's got a double whammy here by the time we look up the area. Because we rounded. But usually it's a little bit closer. That's why when you use your calc, give me your calc steps. Make sure you get this interpretation. So you had number 30. Yep. So number 30 again, your claim is less than or equal to. The complement of that is greater than. That's your tail test. And many of you were asking about this one. Yeah, that's really, really unusually high. You know we're going to kick that out. It's way, way, way too unusual for us. So it's a good example of how unusualness you kick out. Because the area to the right of this, your chart only goes up to like 3.25 or something like that. So you're 3.49. So you're really like off of this chart. So to the right of that is virtually zero. And so we reject H0. If our claim was H0 and we reject H0, we didn't like that claim, we have to say there is not enough evidence at the level of significance of 0.01 there is enough evidence, to reject the claim that the mean is less than or equal to 22,500. Okay, make sure you're good with this interpretation. That is why we actually do this whole entire thing. 31. Now, be careful when you pull this out. Again, look to see what they're looking for down here. Can you support the student's claim? So they're giving you some information, and then you're getting the student's claim. So, because I have the word support, my claim should be HA. That's another good check. My student says, here's my student's claim, that the mean raw score for the school's applicant is more than 30. This is the claim. Okay. And it's greater than 30, so it's an HA. There's my tail. And my complement of that is less than or equal to 30. So now, the stuff above it, it doesn't matter where it comes in your statement. Above the sample, below, doesn't matter. We take out our sample information and we test it. And we look at your p-val, fill this with zeros. And we're rejecting the HO. Now, go back and make sense of this. When we reject the HO, did we support the claim? We rejected the HO? We supported his claim, right? If you want support, you're going to make it so that your claim is your HA. You want to show support. If you want to get rid of something, reject it, you're going to make sure that your claim says your HO. So there is enough evidence to support the student's claim that the mean score is more than 30. There's enough evidence. Now, just because his mean came out to be 31, remember there's standard deviations involved here. So we just can't go blankly and say, yeah, it's greater than 30, yeah, I see it. There's standard deviations to be taken into account. Especially as your sample size gets larger, the standard deviation gets even smaller. Okay. 33. A consumer group claims, there's your claim. And can you reject the claim out here? That means that claim is going to be an HO. Student groups claim that the mean blah 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 is at most is less than or equal to. Yep, that's for sure my HO. My tail goes by my other one, my HA. Now this one was slightly unusual. And I'm not sure if your book makes a mistake or they really meant it to be. Because your tail looks like it should be way up here, right? Doesn't it look like it should be way up here with your right tail? But if you do your Z-score comes down over here. So, if you're looking for the area to the right of that, that's a huge area. That's a very big area. So, I'm not sure if your book made a mistake and didn't mean that to be that far away, or if those really, really happened. So we're failing to reject HO, so therefore there's not enough evidence to reject the claim. If you say there's insufficient evidence, that's fine. Just you got to keep with the rest of this. This is unusual that it happens like this, but every once in a while it does. And again, I'm really not sure if your book made a mistake. The book makes quite a lot of mistakes. 34. This is the last one. A consumer group claims that the mean annual consumption of fructose corn syrup by the person is, there's your equal to. Again, can you reject the claim? Reject means we got an HO. Do we have an HO? Yep, there's good checks and balances in here. Oh, yep, I do have an HO. Two tails. I find my z-score. Now, if you use your calculator automatically takes that p-value and multiplies it by 2. So you do not have to multiply it by 2. Alright, we test, we reject HO. There's enough evidence to reject the claim. Got the mean annual consumption, and you've got to write this out for me. Alright?